We're probably not going to actually have cold opens now that I think about it, because
we could sing holiday songs.
Minisodes. Are we going to get in trouble for
Christmas
copyrighted
songs.
stuff?
What if we hum?
Christmas songs.
What if each of us hums a different Christmas song? So there's no lyrics, and you can barely tell what's going on because we're all doing different things.
Okay, ready? You guys have a Christmas song in your mind?
Uh-huh.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Oh God! Well, at least we amuse ourselves. Welcome to the holiday minisode of Podjiba. I'm Podjiba, comedy editor. Oh, that's the television podcast. You know what you're listening to. I'm Podjiba comedy editor Dan Hamamura. With me, as always, are Podjiba managing editor Tori Preston.
Hello, Dan. Welcome back.
Oh, thanks, Tori. Oh, that's right. I guess I can't say as always because I'm back. Anyway, and Dustin, I'm not going to call you Luther Vandross. Dustin Rolls.
Oh my God! Did you see that episode of It's Always Sunny this week?
Yes.
No, I'm
Oh
behind.
my God! It was like
It
the
was so
fucking
good.
funniest line. Also, when Dennis had COVID, I was watching it.
Oh my
and everybody in
God.
my house was asleep, and I could not stop laughing like uproariously, and I felt so bad because I was waking people up, but I could
was so
not stop.
good.
All right, I will catch up. That's one of my holiday shows. Is I'm planning on catching up on this season of Always Sunny.
It's so good. This season is so good.
Except there was one
that's
episode
good to
that
hear.
was shit, but then the rest of it.
What? Which one? It wasn't the roller rink one, was it?
I don't think so. I think it was the one right before Ireland.
Oh.
Maybe. I don't remember. I don't know.
All right. Anyway, thanks to the two of you and to Kalina for holding down the fort last week while I was preoccupied with other things. Unfortunately, I could not get out of. So.
But you'll never do that to us again, right, Dan?
Well, we'll talk about that in next week's minisode, which we're definitely not also recording tonight at the same time that we're recording this one. But okay, real quick, what's everyone drinking before we get into it?
Whiskey
Tori?
and seltzer.
Okay, what kind of whiskey?
Oh, monkey shoulder. Whatever the bottle I've had for a while. I have a liquor cabinet that is not magic. It's just sort of poorly tended.
Got it. Dustin?
I am having a Allagash and also a Coke, but separately, not together.
All right.
Have you thought of trying them together? No?
No, we don't mix those things.
That could be for the next mini-sode.
You don't mix
Yeah.
beer with anything, Tori.
Oh, really?
Anything.
I've heard differently.
What about like you do like a
Irish car bomb.
yeah, that's a shot and a beer.
Is that the
Mixed together.
Irish Cow? No, that's a cement mixer where it gets all gross in your mouth.
I mean, you
Oh.
can pick something that doesn't get gross. I don't.
Yeah.
This is not that hard.
An Irish car bomb, what is that? Is it like a
It's
Jaeger
just-
and a
It's
beer?
Bailey's, and you drop it in a Guinness, right?
You can
that
do
right?
that. I always thought it was just drop whiskey in a beer, but yeah, I think you can do.
Oh.
Yeah,
I always thought it was Bailey's, but
that makes sense too.
yeah. Anyway, yeah, you drop it in your beer, you drink the whole thing.
Yeah.
I actually have a new bottle in the from the Magic liquor cabinet. Glenlivet 12 illicit still.
Oh, that sounds
This is
fancy.
actually, although I do know where this came from, it was actually a work gift. So,
Ooh,
yeah.
your work sounds fancy.
I know,
They give good
right?
gifts.
It's,
People give you alcohol as gifts. Nobody's ever given me alcohol.
Because
as
they ask, at one point in the indeterminate past, I was asked, do you prefer desserts or alcohol? And I said alcohol. And people seem to have remembered that. So,
smart, because desserts go bad quickly.
well, and
Yeah.
also if I get desserts, I just got to eat them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Gee,
'cause
my
I'm not-
boss
I'm not
has
gonna-
never asked me if I prefer desserts or alcohol. It's just, So neglectful, really.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's problematic in a different way, but it does keep the magic liquor cabinet stocked pretty much at all times. All right, so we gotta go because these episodes are not supposed to be that long. But this is our holiday special. As you know, longtime listeners know, which are all of you, I'm sure, that we do shorter episodes for over the holidays.
Shorter in quotation marks.
They're definitely shorter, Dustin. One of them was like talking about middle school clothing, wasn't it?
Well, that
we
was
were
just
talking
because
about
you cut 20
Delia's.
minutes off a
Yeah, with Delia's
podcast.
Delia's. It was educational.
It was.
Edutainment.
But my point is that it was relatively short. It was like, not that long. Anyway, so this year's holiday special, we're gonna talk about best of the year. Very quick. We're just gonna fire them out. Go nuts. And then we'll also mention a show that we're looking forward to in 2022. So, Tori, why don't you start? Because you had some good ideas about how to do this.
So first, I just thought maybe we do some quick rounds of, because looking at my list, I realized that I have like best shows that kind of premiered and then best shows that just were second seasons or third seasons or whatever, returning shows. And I feel like it's not fair to compare because sometimes what I'm impressed with a returning show is that it didn't let me down compared to previous seasons.
Right.
So maybe I thought, let's start there. My kind of favorite returning shows were Ted Lasso, obviously.
Yep. Same.
Mythic Quest.
Yep, I also had that.
The Great.
I have it on my list.
Yes.
To
We're
watch.
all. Oh
To
my
watch.
God. To watch. Is your list all to watch? You're
No,
like, I hated all television this year.
I watched Ted Lasso and Mythic Quest.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair. And one thing I wanted to just mention, because I'm sure you guys have forgotten, and I don't know if you realize, but this year has been incredibly long. The DuckTales finale
Really?
aired. Yeah, last
Was that
spring.
this year?
That was this year.
Oh my God.
So, and it was a great finale. And staged season 2, which I thought was even better than season 1.
Oh my God, that was this year.
It was this year. And that one we should have known because it was about the pandemic.
Right, but for some reason
The
that
pandemic's been going on for years.
yeah, in
It
my brain
has,
that
yeah.
was several years ago. But
People keep saying that we're approaching the third year of the pandemic, which is accurate, but also feels really strange.
how did the Spanish flu end?
It evolved into
No, I don't mean the sciencey part. I just mean like in terms of like when
Body
people
count?
were like, no. When people were like, oh, it's over, we can go outside. I guess that was the Roaring '20s, huh?
It was.
Okay, fair enough. Dustin, do you have shows that agree or disagree with some of Tori's returning champions?
I agree with all of them except for DuckTales. I would have Ted Lasso. I think And For All Mankind would be on my list.
Yeah.
I did want to mention one show that doesn't get to... The Dexter New Blood, actually. That's both a returning and a new show, which I absolutely adore, and it just gets better and better every week.
I don't think it can be both, technically.
Well,
You gotta pick a lane.
You got to pick a lane.
I think it qualifies as both. It's a revival. And revivals never work, and this one does.
Yeah.
But so it's a returning show.
I suppose so, but it's, a lot of new characters, new setting. But the show that I wanted to talk about is one of my favorite shows, but really my favorite storyline of the year was in The Good Fight. And I just want to mention this little subplot because it involved Mandy Patinkin. Yes, exactly. He plays a judge who's decided that he wants to create a court of his own out of the back of a copy shop. And he creates this court, and he's like, fuck it, we're going to do it right. We're going to base it all on common sense. and he starts it, and it's like this revelatory thing, and like people start sort of like agree to have him hear it. So it feels a little like Wapner in the beginning, only he's like, I'm just going to do the right thing. I'm just going to make the right decisions. And everybody's like, oh, this is new and unique, and we don't have to wait 6 months to get our case thrown out. And over the course of the entire season, it evolves. And like he decides, okay, well, I have to make this rule. I don't want to judge based on what people look like. So everybody's got to wear costumes. And then when they put on costumes, like a reality show gets involved, and then they end up getting a huge billionaire backer to put in money, and like over the course of the season it gets bigger and bigger and more corrupt, and you just sort of see the wheels come off it, and it's just so fascinating, this little microcosm to see, and you're like, oh, our judicial system really sucks, but it's also often better than the alternative. And it's just a brilliant subplot, and if you aren't watching The Good Fight, you should, just for Mandy Patinkin.
And where is The Good Fight found?
Paramount Plus.
Home of...
Yellowstone.
Oh, no, is it the home of Yellowstone?
It is, yeah, and Star Trek, all of the Star Treks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's CBS All Access.
Yes, basically.
Also, I forgot to mention, but Succession.
Oh, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it goes without saying, but like maybe we should actually say it. It was a
Yeah.
really good season.
Yeah.
Phenomenal season.
Those are all definitely on my list, the ones I've seen. The other returning champions that I wanted to mention were Betty on HBO, which unfortunately was canceled, and How To with John Wilson, also on HBO.
Yes.
Just two delightful, weird in their own way shows that were... yeah, I don't know. I enjoy them a lot, and they're both are unlike anything else on TV in delightful ways. So
Awesome. I can't believe we agreed on so much.
yeah,
That can't be it. There's got to be more.
No, well, we haven't gotten to the new shows.
yeah. So what about new things?
Should we just go like one each, just go around and around?
Sure.
All right, dibs on Only Murders in the Building. Probably the show
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. I enjoyed it more than I was expecting.
I'll finish
was
it.
just... You still haven't finished it. Oh, my gosh.
I think I'm in the cop-centric episode. I know.
You've got a lot to do.
It's supposed to be really
this one.
good.
Yeah,
I hear that
it's okay.
I hear that it gets good.
It's just pleasant, you know? Like, sometimes you just want something that feels like being wrapped in a quilt of happy.
Oh, wait. Sorry. I didn't mean to... I understand that, and that makes sense. But no. I just remembered before we completely closed the book on returning shows, none of us said What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. So
I'm glad that you remembered.
I feel like we have to add that.
That was very good.
That's on the record now.
That's on Hulu. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Only Murders in the Building. I mean, I've enjoyed what I've seen. Haven't seen all of it, but I'll go back. Justin, do you have
A favorite new show?
Yes.
Yeah. We're just going to go around. Not. It doesn't have to be your only. We'll do a couple rounds. But
All
you know.
right. I probably Hacks is my favorite new show.
Okay. That was on my
I
list.
forgot that.
Yeah.
Oh, good call. It was so
Yeah.
good.
Tax was really good. Definitely up there for... I think if we had to do just like best, like combining them, that would still make the cut for me.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to lay claim to Reservation Dogs.
Yeah.
It was on my list. Yep.
Yeah. Which was great. And again, just like something that is very different than most other TV and comes from a different perspective that was a lot of fun to get to explore. So.
Yeah. All right, my next one, I'm going to go Midnight Mass.
Oh.
So good.
Okay.
So good. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
that one just, and it's weird because I didn't, like a lot of the ones that we've talked about, we got to have that weekly experience. And I'm glad I didn't have that with Midnight Mass. There was something really unique. I mean, like of a binge show. Like, I actually felt like I consumed it even though I was binging it. Like, I have very clear memories of it. It left an impact despite the binge, which doesn't always happen with Netflix shows. But that was one that I, like, powered through and then kind of had to chew over for a while.
Yeah.
So,
Cool.
and some wonderful performances, most of whom are showing up in the next Flanagan joint. So they're all doing fine.
Dustin, do you have another one?
Yeah, I've only seen 3 episodes so far, but Station 11 is definitely going to end up being one of my favorite shows of the year.
Oh, okay.
It's really good, like sort of leftover-ish, pandemic, heartfelt, but also like an apocalypse.
Yeah.
It's really, really good.
I was debating because there are shows that haven't finished yet, and I wasn't sure because, like, Landscapers or Yellow Jackets, like, those are great, but I feel a little.
I know, yeah.
I was debating,
Yeah.
but it's good. I haven't seen Station 11 yet. It's
Yeah, me neither.
Worth checking
but
out?
I've heard great things.
good.
I've got one other weird comedy that came from that, like, again, it's just not the same as what we normally get to see. We Are Lady Parts,
Yes.
which I really enjoyed, and they got a second season, right? I
Yes.
Yes.
I think they got
Okay.
it.
Yeah, it took them a
Yeah.
while to announce
Yeah,
it, but they did.
It was like, where's the announcement?
Yeah.
But,
like,
yeah, another one that was just fun and exciting and different voices, which I'm all for.
I've got 2 others that I don't think would have made my top list, but I think are worth a shout out because they're 2 of the only shows I felt like I had a real, other than Succession, that had a real kind of water cooler feeling. Like everyone was watching them and talking about them.
Okay.
And that was Squid Game and Invincible. Those 2,
Yeah.
were enjoyable, but it was nice to have that community feel of like, oh, cool, like we're all,
Right.
yeah.
I will finish Squid Game someday. I know what happens,
Yes, Dan.
and I do want to finish it. I just haven't.
Well, you'll have time before the second season starts.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll definitely finish it before that.
I have a favorite new show that no one talked about this year, which was Heels.
I thought it was Saturday Morning All-Star Hits.
Boy, it was not.
But it could be.
It could be.
Not. There's not a chance in hell.
Oh yeah, Heels. That's on my list.
Is it good? Because it's a show that you would love. You
Yeah.
can just move it to the top if you'd like. Go ahead.
All right. I just remembered one more that I didn't write down, but I'm glad that I had this time to think about it. And I think it counts as this year. I'm going to count it because it premiered on AMC this year. Gangs of London,
Oh,
Nice. Nice.
which was so much fun, and I can't believe I forgot about it for a moment. But the
Still haven't
exquisite
finished
violence, very, very enjoyable. I don't know how they're gonna do season 2, but I mean, like, it's not that it's not set up for it. It's just like, how do you top some of the crazy stuff they did in the first season? So.
Well, and there's a show that we've all forgotten, but which is always the best show of the year, which is The Mandalorian.
It's not even
Of course,
on.
it's The
It didn't even
Mandalorian.
come
Yes.
on.
Well,
yes.
I
How
mean-
could we forget?
I mean, Dan, like, look.
It's
What-
so good. It doesn't even have to be on this year to be the best show of the year.
Also, I'd argue, like, I don't understand the concept of years anymore. Like, are we sure that it didn't air this year?
Right.
I feel like all of the Marvel shows were this year, right? It feels like it. I'm not sure.
They were.
They were? All of them were?
Yeah, WandaVision, Loki,
Look, Dustin,
Falcon
if you,
Winter Soldier. What
you
if?
needed
What
to be-
if? Which is apparently important now.
Okay. Which one was your favorite?
I think the most original was WandaVision, but I am partial to Loki just because I think I was already interested in WandaVision. Mm-hmm. I think it had a great, the premise and kind of what you heard about it ahead of time. I was like, that could be really cool. I had less than zero expectations for Loki. I thought there was no way that character was going to and so Loki was more surprising to me, but I do think overall probably like WandaVision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best Marvel show is obviously Hawkeye, because nobody does it better than Jeremy Renner.
Oh my God.
Let's be clear.
Hawkeye is good though. It's really
It's entertaining.
good.
I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
None of the
But
other
I
ones
like-
have Pizza Dog, and Haley
Yeah.
Steinfeld's great.
Haley Steinfeld's
She's
great.
so good.
Pizza Dog is great.
She's so good.
But I also like that it's a small story. I mean,
Yeah.
I know the comic it's based on is a small story, but I like,
that they've
that-
preserved that.
yeah, that part of it feels nice. Dustin, if you really, really need the Mandalorian to air this season for it to count, Book of Boba Fett is not out yet, but it will be shortly, and
Yeah.
that does star a Mandalorian.
It does.
So, therefore, the
wait.
Mandalorian
Boba Fett
has,
is a
will have
Mandalorian?
Yeah.
will have been on the air.
Yes.
Yeah,
So the
guess
winner
that
is a Mandalorian.
the winner is a Mandalorian
Which you have not
for
seen.
third year in a row.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. It's got Boba Fett and Ming.
Who plays Boba
what
Fett?
else do you want? Timora Morrison, the guy who played
Boba Fett before.
Well,
Yeah.
he played. He played him in the
In Mandalorian.
prequels.
Yeah.
And Mandalorian.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's all right there. We've you
Just
know,
connect
it
the
sounds,
dots,
it's,
Dustin.
Yeah, it's unanimous. We're
Once again, the unanimous show of 2021 for Pod Jaiba, the Mandalorian, or a Mandalorian, either way.
Untrue.
Mandalorian's involved. Dustin has been outvoted unanimously.
that's how it works.
Yep. All right, before we go, what's one show that you're looking forward to in 2022?
I want to see if Dustin gets his own pick right.
Okay.
Because I
I
think
feel like I'm right on this.
what is it?
The Pamela and Tommy Lee show.
No, it's Manifest. It's obviously
on,
Manifest.
Obviously Manifest. Or it could be, you could make it La Brea season 2.
No, come on.
although
No,
we
I
don't
mean
know.
no,
We
because
don't know what
Manifest returning is the bigger story. here.
Manifest returning is definitely the bigger
And
story.
that's really the laurel that Dustin has earned.
Right.
But
Dustin,
okay,
don't you want to know how it ends?
I mean, I do. I'm very curious how it ends, but not in a good way. I just want to see how much of a shit show it is.
And there you go, most anticipated show. My shows. So there's a lot coming out this year. Next year, obviously, there will be a Mandalorian show.
Yep.
So we already know what the best show of 2022 will be. So it's kind of like, why are we even talking about this?
Right.
But I think my most anticipated, and this is hard because it's like there's a lot of stuff. But I really can't wait for The Boys season 3.
Wait, is that season 3 or season 4?
I thought it was
3.
season 3.
It's
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
season 3? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Gotta see. I just want to see what Jensen Ackles is up to.
Me too. Me too.
Oh, that's right. It's him.
It's
Oh,
him.
you're right. It is season 3. Oh, yeah.
But there's some good Marvel stuff coming, and there's a very particular video game adaptation that
Oh, yeah. I'm actually pretty excited about that one too.
Wait, which one?
Last of Us.
Oh, is that coming this year or
Yep.
next year?
Supposedly, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm excited to see that. For me, I think it's so they're the returning champions that I'm excited about. Whenever Mythic Quest comes back, Ted Lasso, obviously, Hacks, basically anything that was in our best stuff, I'm probably excited about it coming back. But
Right.
the one that I'm the most, at least that I off the top of my head, that I'm the most like I really want to see how it turns out is How I Met Your Father.
Oh, I am kind of excited about that too.
Because it feels, at least in the trailer, it feels very much like they're trying to recapture the essence of what made the first show work, and so enjoyable, and with an ending that still holds up, despite the fact that there are a lot of people who seem to misinterpret
Untrue.
the very point
Untrue.
of the series. And
nothing about the ending that
look,
holds
everyone.
Kristen
I
Milioti? Like, come on.
I understand everyone wants a happy ending, and sometimes life doesn't turn out that way, and that's okay, and it's okay to celebrate that. And that's not the point here. The point here is that How I Met Your Father looks like it might have, it might be. They might have gotten it after they had previous versions that they tried with, including there was one with Greta Gerwig.
Yeah.
Right?
And Meg Ryan was her.
Yeah.
Right, and I was like, how did that one not go? And then Greta Gerwig became Greta Gerwig. Like, it was right before she, like, blew up and
Took
became...
off, yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of one of those things where it's like, oh, maybe it's okay, because, like, her film career probably wouldn't have taken off the way that it did if she was on if the show had been a success and she had to stay on it for years and years.
Yeah.
But... yeah, that's mine.
Also, the good thing about How I Met Your Father is you've got Kim Cattrall getting to literally phone it in, while whatever the Sex and the City reboot is just
A train wreck.
Yeah.
and recovering from the Chris Noth thing. So
Right.
Kim Cattrall, like, good on her. Like, get a show where you just do the voiceover and cash those checks. And
I think she's actually on screen a little bit.
Really?
In the trailer, they showed
I
one
saw
shot of her.
Yeah. Was Bob Saget ever on screen? I don't remember.
He was not.
No. Okay.
So that's see, it's different, Dustin. It's not. They're not just.
And in
redoing
the
same show.
end, Jack wakes up and he's lying next to a dog, and Robin has a tuba, and it's some sort of weird afterlife thing. I don't know.
That was only the final season of Lost, Dustin. That was not. Everyone's missing. This episode's over. All right, that's the best of 2021. We will be back next week, which we're definitely not recording right after this, for a game that will end the year. Have a good night.
Good
Good night, everybody.
Don't forget
Oh my
to watch
God.
Girls 5 Eva.